Hello and welcome to Flute Tech Video 3. Today we will be talking about breathing and support on the flute. Now when we think of breathing, it's something that every instrument does, but every instrument is slightly different from one another. Where you're breathing in, let's say, a clarinet is going to be different from your breathing from, say, a trombone or a French horn. That's the same saying with the flute. The flute air is, you're going to need a lot of air to play the flute. It's kind of like playing the tuba. You need a lot of air to push it through, that way you can get the tone out of it. Since when you blow at the flute, the air splits between going in the hole and past the hole to create your sound. You need a lot of air and support to be able to get the different tones out that you need from the instrument. When you're beginning to play the flute, you will tend to get a lot lightheaded often. This is normal because you're not used to the amount of airflow that you need and breathing as deeply as you should be. So just take constant breaks. Always be sitting down to begin with. When you get more advanced, you can stand up and play, and so on and so forth. When you think about your breathing, you want to think more breathing in your stomach area. So you're going to be taking deep breaths in constantly. No shallow, short breaths that fill up the chest, but rather fill up both your chest and your stomach. So every time you take breaths, you want to take nice, deep breaths, filling up your lungs, extending out your stomach. And don't breathe exactly from the diaphragm, breathe more from way down low. Let your diaphragm be what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be involuntary. It's supposed to be just there doing its thing. You're not supposed to be controlling it. So, breathing deeply, constantly breathing deeply, and something when you're breathing while you're playing the instrument, you're still wanting to take deep breaths in every time, even though they are short breaths while you're playing. And also, a key I learned from playing clarinets for so many years is breathing in is important, but as equally as important is breathing out. Because you're constantly breathing in, but you're not blowing out all the air. So you're still having some CO2 build up inside of you, which can be bad for your airflow and your support. So you need to breathe out as well as in while you're playing. Now support is more of like a physical activity. You're trying to engage your muscles in your abdomen to allow you to take deeper breath. That way your breaths can last longer and you can push more air out at a time. So the effect on your lung capacity can be a multiple of things, from where your balance point is to how straight your back is to how basically it's directed to your posture and how tense your body is. So if you have a tense posture, you're going to have really little airflow. But if you're more open, you have good posture, your chest is open, then you can take deeper breaths and be able to engage those muscles so you can support it. Then constantly breathe out. Some exercises you need to use. Well, first off, yawning. Yawning is completely natural. When you take really short, small breaths into your body naturally makes yourself yawn so you can take more air in to give yourself more oxygen. That's like when you're tired, you start breathing less and less. That's why your body makes you yawn so you can take more air in. So some exercises you can use for good breath support is, first off, the surprise breath, where your jaw drops, your tongue goes at the bottom of your mouth, and your whole upper body just quickly moves out. So your stomach, you're breathing in really quickly, like that. So your breath goes nice and deep, filling up all your stomach area. For an increased breath capacity, you can use the in and out techniques, where you breathe in for a certain amount of time and then you breathe out for another set amount of time. So let's say you breathe in 4, but then you breathe out 8, 12, and 16, going up by a measure increment each time. Basically, you want to breathe. Phrasing is also important when it comes to this. Usually your phrasing should be about 4 measures, depending on the tempo of the music as well as the time signature. Another good way to practice getting good long deep breaths is a lot of cardiovascular activities like swimming, running, different kind of activities like that, as well as the paper to the wall technique, where you try to keep a thin piece of paper to the wall with just your air support. So that's all I have on breathing and support today. It looks like, yep, just breathing and support. So some key things to remember is to always breathe deeply and engage the muscles in your body so you can have a constant good airstream and that's supported where you don't have to constantly be taking breath in. Lightheadedness is okay. It is a natural thing that can occur because you're not used to the amount of breathing and air you're taking in. Just remember to always be relaxed, have good posture, and your breathing and support will just come naturally.